Welcome to this explanation of Python asynchronous programming, focusing on asynchronous with and asynchronous for statements. We will explore context managers and iterators in the context of asynchronous operations. In this explanation, we will cover the following topics. First, we'll discuss asynchronous with, which deals with asynchronous context managers. Then we'll dive into asynchronous for, which is used for asynchronous iterators. We'll look at practical examples and real-world use cases. Finally, we'll review the best practices for implementing these asynchronous patterns. To make the most of this explanation, it's helpful to have some prior knowledge. You should understand Python's async await syntax, be familiar with coroutines and event loops, have a basic understanding of context managers using the with statement, and have a Python 3.5 or higher environment. Let's explore asynchronous context managers using the async with statement. What exactly is async with? It's essentially the asynchronous version of the standard with statement you might already be familiar with. It is used with objects that implement the double underscore enter double underscore and double underscore exit double underscore methods. This allows for asynchronous setup and teardown operations, which are particularly useful in situations like database connections, network resources, and file operations. Here's the basic structure of how an asynchronous context manager is set up. You define a class, in this case named async resource. Within this class, you define an asynchronous enter method using async def double underscore enter double underscore. This is where you put your setup code, such as asynchronously connecting to a resource. The method should return self. You also define an asynchronous exit method using async def double underscore exit double underscore, which includes cleanup code, such as asynchronously closing the connection. When using the asynchronous context manager, you use the async with statement, followed by the instantiation of your resource and an alias for it. Inside the async with block, you can perform asynchronous operations on the resource. Let's look at a practical example. Creating an asynchronous database connection using async. First, import the asyncio and async libraries. Define a class called async database connection. In the init method, pass the database source name, also known as DSN. Set connection to none. Then define the enter method to connect to the database asynchronously. The connection is established using await async.connect, passing the DSN, and returns the connection. Also, define the exit method to close the connection asynchronously. Check if a connection exists, and if so, close it using awaitCon.close. To use this asynchronous context manager, create an async function such as fetch users. Specify the DSN. Then, using the async with statement with async database connection, pass the DSN as con. Now you can perform database operations, such as fetching users, using awaitCon.fetch and passing the SQL query. Finally, return the users. Here are some key benefits to using asynchronous context managers. They automatically handle connection cleanup, even if exceptions occur. It ensures resources are properly released. This makes async code cleaner and more readable. It reduces boilerplate for resource management. It follows the same pattern as synchronous context managers. Let's move on to asynchronous iterators and how they work with the async for statement. So, what is async for? It's the asynchronous counterpart to the standard for loop. It is used with objects that implement the double underscore iter double underscore and double underscore next double underscore methods. This allows for iteration where each step may involve input-output operations, making it ideal for streaming data or handling paginated API results. It's important to note that async for must be used inside an asynchronous function. Let's look at the basic structure of an asynchronous iterator. Define a class, in this case called async counter. In the init method, set the limit and initialize the counter to 0. Then define the iter method, which returns self. Next, define the asynchronous next method using async def double underscore next double underscore. Here you check if the counter is less than the limit. If so, increment the counter, simulate an input-output operation with await asyncio.sleep, and then return the counter. If the counter is not less than the limit, raise a stop async iteration exception. To use the asynchronous iterator, create an async function such as main. Then use async for to iterate over the async counter instance. In each iteration, print the number. Let's explore a practical example using Async Iterators for asynchronous API pagination. First, import the AIP library. Then define a class called Async Paginated API. In the init method, pass the base URL, set the session to none and set the next page to 1. Then define the iter method which returns self. Next, define the asynchronous next method called a next. Check if a session exists. If not, create one using aip.client session. Then check if there's a next page. If so, construct the URL using the base URL and the page number. Use async with session.get to get the data from the API endpoint. Await the response, convert it to JSON format and get the next page from the JSON data. Return the items from the JSON data. If there is no next page, close the session and raise a stop async iteration exception. To use this asynchronous paginated API, define an async function called fetchAllItems. Initialize an empty list to hold the results. Use async for to iterate over the async paginated API instance, passing the base URL of the API. Extend the results list with the items from each page. Finally, return the results. Some best practices to consider: combine async with an async for clean resource management. Use contextlib.async context manager for simple context managers. Handle exceptions properly in the exit methods. Close resources in a next when iteration completes. Consider using async generators as a simpler alternative to custom iterators. Test async code with Pytest asyncio or similar tools. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.